Move on to our second debate tonight, and that, of course, is on the the entire debate surrounding the Uniform Civil Code. The Parliamentary Standing Committee for Law and Justice held a meeting yesterday on the Uniform Civil Code. According to top sources, opposition parties have questioned the government's intent, with many tribal states raising some concerns. Opposition MPs allege that the government is making the pitch keeping elections in mind. Close to 20 lakh suggestions have been received by the Law Commission.
क्योंकि यूसीसी कमेटी का ड्राफ्ट कंप्लीट रूप से हमें नहीं मिला है और उनका ड्राफ्ट जब मिलेगा तो उस पर तभी कुछ कह पाना संभव होगा। हम बहुत देर भी नहीं करेंगे और जल्दबाजी में जो है ऐसा काम भी नहीं होगा कि जो है कि कोई ऊपर का नीचे हो जाए, इसलिए बहुत सोच समझ कर उस पर काम होगा।
The state shall endeavor to secure for citizens a uniform civil code throughout the territory of India. Any further delay in implementation of uniform civil code will be corrosive of our values.
I think it's pretty simple. We have the Special Marriage Act. We have the Indian Succession Act. This is the law of marriage and divorce. It will apply to all Indians, irrespective of caste, creed, or color.
I am a strong believer in the Uniform Civil Code. I think it's a historical necessity. I think a nation needs one law.
All right, one nation, one law when it comes to personal laws. Right now, it's basis religion. The Muslims have Sharia law. The Christians have their own succession and inheritance acts. And of course, so do the Hindus. So should that be changed for having one set of personal laws or civil laws, just like we have one set of criminal laws, both in the Indian Penal Code and in the Criminal Procedure Code? Let me now bring in our guests who are joining us. Varis Pathan is spokesperson of the AIMIM party. Vishnu Jain is advocate at the Supreme Court. Varis Pathan, the fundamental argument that's being made by backers of the UCC is that not having a common civil law means you're discriminating between different communities and perhaps even within different communities. And India, as a thriving democratic nation, should not have laws that are unequal among communities.
Well, Zaka, there is no need for getting the UCC. As in 2018 itself, the Law Commission has clearly stated that the country does not require a uniform civil code and that there should be no argument for the coming next 10 years. But Modi, when he went to the US, he was asked several questions by the journalist. Barack Obama came before the nation on a television interview. He spoke about the minority trouble in India, the ethnic minority is facing such kind of trouble. So Modi came to India and he started with triple talaq issue, Pasmanda Muslim issue and UCC. This was their also agenda prior to the 2019 election. But let me tell you, Zaka, and ask the BJP spokesperson, what will they do with the HUF, the Hindu undivided family, which is getting the rebate and that is amounting to more than 3,000 crore per year? What will happen to the Article 26, 29, 14, 15? Article 29 is the unfettered right which is guaranteed to every Indian as per the constitution given to us by Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. We speaks about pluralism and diversity of the country, which are the basic structures of the constitution. What will happen to that? They are speaking about Article 44. Article 44 says the state shall endeavor. The word uses shall endeavor, koshish kariye. But it is not that you have to make it mandatory. This last 70 years we have been following the constitution.
No. Fair enough. You still have not given. You still have not given me an argument as to why there should not be one civil law when we can have one criminal law. But Vishnu Jain, please respond.
Because we have different culture.
Fair enough. So I'm getting to that question with Vishnu Jain. Yesterday at the parliamentary panel meeting, there was the chair who asked, how can we extend this to tribal communities in the northeast, for example? So already first exemption is being asked for within what is being called a uniform civil code. So Vishnu Jain, will it work at all? Because now we are saying that all tribals will be kept out of the purview of the UCC.
See, as a lawyer practicing in the Supreme Court, my duty is to answer the question which you have asked, and the legal answer to your question is that except Article 371A, where the provision is for state of Nagaland that if any law interferes with their custom or usage, the State Assembly of Nagaland has to pass it. Apart from that, so far as other aspects are concerned, other states are concerned, they are governed by the provisions of 6th schedule. And let me quote and tell you chapter 12A of 6th schedule, where the provision is that if a parliament makes a law against their custom and usage, the law made by the parliament will prevail. Varis Bhai is here. He's a well-known lawyer, so he can counter me on this point. That is point number one. The second point, Zaka, which I want to highlight today on your show is, it's a question of gender justice. Under Article 15, subclause 3, Parliament has the power to make special laws so far as women and children are concerned. Let me ask a very fundamental question. Whether female genital mutilation, whether it is valid or not, whether we should not debate upon it. Female genital mutilation is drawing the attention of the Supreme Court 7 judges bench. The UNICEF has said, the United Nations has said that this is the most heinous practice. And if someone is taking shelter of their own religion, should we not talk about it? It is against the dignity of a woman. Then apart from this, there is halala, there is iddat. All these things, whether we should not come within the purview of UCC, then there is a provision of child marriage, child prohibition. Act is already there, but it does not apply to the members of the Muslim community.
So, Varis, respond to this. Essentially, by having different set of laws and Sharia law and other laws, you are discriminating mostly against women in the Muslim community. You know, they are at the receiving end of whether it is polygamy, whether it is even skewed succession and inheritance within families. The women are never favored. So how do you respond to that criticism that you are not being gender friendly?
Well, no. Well, my learned friend just now spoke about the Uniform Civil Code. Why should it be implemented? I'll ask him whether it will go as per the Dayabaka school of thoughts or Mitaksha school of thoughts. What will happen to that? What will happen to the special status that is given to the tribals? As you already said that the tribals, the Uniform Civil Code will not be applicable. And where is the draft of the Uniform Civil Code? I mean, it was so important. Modi was in power since the last 9 years. The BJP is there. What prevented them from getting the Uniform Civil Code? Why prior to the election? What about polygamy? I would request my learned friend to give me names of 10 Muslims, not more. 10 Muslims, just name them, who have married 4 times. There are nobody. And I will give you certain people's names who are non-Muslim, but they are having 5, 6. I would not name them. But let me tell you, this is the reality of the country. So where will we go? So this is nothing but you want to implement the Hindu civil code, sir. Nothing more than that. What benefit you will have?
No. One second.
Zaka, I was listening to you carefully.
I got it. Just one limited point on what you said. You know, show me 10 people who have multiple wives or multiple spouses. But point is, I don't think law works on anecdotes. Correct. Law works on principle. The fact that you have a law which enables a person to have multiple spouses, that the principle of it is wrong. That is what the limited point is. Anyway, continue.
Well, in that case, Zaka, if that the principle is applied, then you must have a uniform law on the hate speeches. When during this Mahasabha, Hindu Mahasabha, they give hate speech against the Muslims
there is already a provision,
killing them, genocide, no action against them. No action against them. But if a Muslim, somebody says something, you put under NIA, send him to jail. Then let there be a law for that. Equality in law. Why are you not getting that? What prevents you from making a law on the mob lynching? When Muslims are being mob lynched in the name of cow, Muslims are being mob lynched in not speaking JSR. Get a law on that. Let there be equality in law. But I would say, when is Modi getting this law? What will happen to our Sikh brothers in Punjab? Ask them whether they are interested in that. In Gujarat, Zaka, there is a law. If Varis Pradhan wants to go and buy a flat or a property in a Hindu area, I cannot buy. What will happen to that? If in Himachal Pradesh I want to buy a 1 acre orchard land, agriculture, or I am not allowed or I am not entitled to buy that because the law of the land is simple. In India, there are several states in which cow is a mummy, there are states cow is a yummy. What will they do for that? So it is just not possible in a country, diversified country like us, to have one common law for every person. And what is the draft? We don't know what is the draft, whether they will be going for the languages as well. That every Indian must speak Hindi only. What will happen in Gujarat? What will happen in Tamil Nadu? What will happen in Maharashtra? We don't know. So what is the draft? Nobody knows. But only they want to implement a law just to harass one particular community by maligning their image, saying that char shadi karte, so there should be law on that. Gender equality nahi hai because women are being troubled. We bought triple talaq. After triple talaq, ask the women on the ground reality what is the real issue. Because
but
I would like Mr. Modi to come up with a draft. Show us what has intention. What does he mean by Uniform Civil Code?
No. 1 second. By saying that, it's targeting one community or only looking at one community, again, I don't necessarily agree with that. For example, Christian women, in the case of divorce for Christian women, in all cases, they have to wait 1 year, which is called the reconciliation period. Courts give one. Period. Yeah, for Christian women, it's 2 years. Don't you think that is gender unfair? Right. Why should Christian women have to wait for 2 years if they are in a marriage that has irretrievably broken down? Anyway, be that as it may. But Vishnu Jain, I want to come back to you have still not. What will happen to that? 1 second, Vishnu Jain. Fundamental question is whether it is 371A in the case of northeastern states or whether it is protections granted to scheduled tribes. If you are going to make exceptions, then it is not a uniform civil code, no. Then you have to say uniform civil code asterisk.
Yes.
The asterisk is these are the guys who are exempted.
Zaka, see, my point and submission before you is this, that when we are debating upon uniform civil code, we have to agree on certain ground norms. And the ground norm is that so far as dignity of women is concerned, that is the foremost duty of the framers and the protectors of the constitution, as well as all the parliamentarians. So now let me suggest something. When uniform civil code will come, polygamy will be banned. When uniform civil code will come, bigamy will be banned. When uniform civil code will come, female genital mutilation will be banned. Whether it is across, I'm talking about across all the communities. When uniform civil code will come, there will be equal rights so far as succession is concerned. There will be uniform rights so far as inheritance is concerned. There will be no child marriage. There will be widow remarriage. All these will be under the purview of uniform civil code. There will be uniform grounds of divorce. Now let me tell you, Zaka, so far as the members of Hindu community are concerned, there was Sati Pratha in our community. It was abolished. Sati Abolition Act 1987. Varis Bhai can counter me on this. Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2006 has been enacted by the parliament so far as vision of UNICEF was concerned. Hindu Widow Remarriage Act 1856 as well as by the recent parliament has been enacted. Section 6 of the Hindu Succession Act gave equal rights to the daughter of our community. So I am asking whether if we bring this... Whether we bring this so far as across the members of all the community, where is the religion of Varis Bhai getting impacted? And I'm asking
Varis Pathan, I think on those 2 points, one, there has been a series of reformative laws in Hinduism, whether it is abolishing sati, whether it is abolishing child marriage, and of course the division, inheritance and succession. But why are you not having the same for Muslims and particularly for Muslim women? Today, for example, I think there is this. I'm not sure what the name is, but the inheritance law for women in the Muslim community is 1/8 or something of that sort, or 1/8
and 1/6.
Yeah, 1/8 and
1/6, and after marriage 1/8.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that unfair, Varis Bhai? Isn't that something that should be done away with?
Well, I am very happy to learn that my learned friend and the BJP Modi have got soft corner for the women. They are very much worried about the Muslim women. And during Triple Talaq also, Modi said Muslim sisters are my, women are my sisters. But I mean, asked me, Bilkis Banu is also Muslim. What did he do for her? Her parent rapists are moving outside for the free land. Zakia Jafri was a Muslim. Our Muslim daughters wanted to study wearing a hijab. We did not allow 700 students did not appear for that. And let me remind you, I am also worried about my Hindu sisters. My Hindu sisters, more than 20 lakh of them are abandoned. They are in Vrindavan. What will happen to them? Why nobody talks about them? Why nobody cares about them? And for law, if a person outrages the modesty of a woman or passes some comment, the law is applicable to Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, whosoever is there. In Mizoram, they have alliance with the Naga PPF party. What will they do with that? 2003, since 2003, BJP is alliance with them. Will they break it? When are they going to break it? They said, no, we are protected by the tribal law. We will not go along with the UCC. So what will happen to that? And does Mr. my learned friend know what is in the draft? Modi does not know what is UCC. He just said he is going to implement UCC. But he is a senior advocate of the Supreme Court. Kindly show me what is written in the draft and let us debate on that. Kindly
Sir,
come
can
up with
I
a
just-
draft.
can I just
Kindly, I
answer
will
the
let's
qualify
say,
of this
let's
draft?
say, no, no,
Whether
one second,
HUF
one
will be
second, one at a
removed.
time, one at a
Whether
time.
HUF will be removed.
No, no,
whether the law prevailing in Himachal and Gujarat will be done off with.
Varis
Whether Daya Bhaga School of Thought and Mitaksha School
the
of Thought will be
draft
implemented.
will be circulated in
Yes.
Parliament. Every parliamentarian will get a chance to peruse that draft. It will go through a debate in Parliament, and it
Why
has to
not
be
get the
passed
people who are-
as a law in Parliament. It's going to be a process. It's not like आज मैंने
invented
बोल
them
दिया
from-
कल हो जाएगा UCC.
Zaka, only 2 sessions are remaining of the parliament.
Yes.
For 9 long years, what was Modi doing? What was the BJP doing when they were in power? Huh? And now, all of a sudden, why do they come along with the UCC? And I'm asking simple question.
Okay.
If they go along with the HUF, or will it be removed? What about the tribals? What will happen to them?
Okay, so that's a political
Varis bhai,
point. So Vishnu, answer the political point. For
No, I-
nine and a half years, this government did not say anything about UCC. 6 months to elections, and suddenly UCC is all the talk of town. Varis Pathan and his party and other opposition parties are saying this is only to polarize the electorate before the general elections.
Polarize the situation.
First of all, Zaka, let me answer the question of draft. So far as draft is concerned, the Law Commission has asked for suggestions. When the suggestions will be given to the Law Commission, then the draft will be made. If today at the draft stage suggestions are not asked for, they will say that we were not included in this legislative process. So this legislative process, everyone from the country has been included. That's the first point. Now the second point is this: Varis Bhai has raised an issue that what will happen to HUF. I am asking, there is hiba under Muslim law. There is oral gift. There is no stamp duty on hiba. And so much of stamp duty has been eradicated so far as hiba is concerned. We are not talking about hiba or HUF, Varis Bhai. We are talking about very, very crucial fundamental
Are
issue.
you getting the law only to... That's why I said, Zakasi. He
That's
himself
what I'm
said they
saying,
want
Zaka.
to just move
Now-
on with
now
the
let me
Muslim
answer
laws.
the third point.
They want
First
to
of
just
all,
see
I am
to it
not
that the
a
Muslims are
political
targeted.
person,
That is what the
but let me tell you,
polarization is
that
mean.
so far as Uniform Civil
That what
Code
the
is concerned,
polarization means.
the words are used in Article 44 itself, and it's a very, very clear distinction.
Okay.
Article 31C, please have a look at
No,
Article 31C.
you make a
It has been
statement
enacted
that
by
you will
saying
remove the
that
HUF.
If any law is
Make a
brought to
statement.
implement the provisions of directive
okay, my
principles of
learned-
state policy, it will not
Okay,
challenge.
I am
make a
completely out of
statement. I
time.
would like
I got to wrap up.
CNN
Thank you
to
very much
record
to
that.
Varis Pathan and to Vishnu Jain. I'm completely out of time. Sorry about that. But it's very clear. I think this is going to be a very, very consistent and pertinent theme in the run-up to the 2024 elections. Clearly, both the government and the opposition having very strong views about it, and we'll be on top of those debates as well.